Welcome to ProPractice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode has been long awaited by so many people and by myself as well. It is the Op.25 No.6 Etude in G sharp minor by Chopin, and this etude has given me so much trouble over the years. I played the complete Chopin etudes when I was 16, and I remember this one and Opus 10 number 2 were the ones that just always eluded me. I could play them, but they were slow. And when I started ProPractice 3 years ago, I knew I would inevitably be recording the complete Chopin etudes tutorials, and I have put this off and put it off and put it off. So here it is today. I finally feel like I figured it out for the most part. I could never get these first little trills. Like I would always go, and I have some inverted fingerings that you'll be able to use, or the regular fingerings if those are more comfortable. I'm going to take you through step by step and show you every fingering that I use in this piece. At least for the right hand. You can kind of figure out the left hand. I'll help you a little bit at the beginning to get started, but I'm going to take you through all the fingering because I feel like that's a very crucial piece of information. Also, I'm going to go over practice methods to get not only the trills good, but the moving thirds. This one. That's a particularly hard line. I'll be going over all of these things today to help you become as efficient as possible in your practice sessions. I'm overjoyed to finally be recording this. You have no idea, because I thought maybe I'll never be able to record this or figure it out because I was lost. I'm going to start out with the first line. I've asked so many people who are good at this piece how they do it, and I've gotten so many different pieces of advice. Let me first give you the basic fingering that I'm still currently working on. I have a different inverted fingering that I'm good at that I can play. I performed this the other day. It went pretty well. That was the first time I ever performed it, besides a very horrible performance about 5 years ago, and I've avoided it ever since. And so along with all this advice, I want to encourage each of you to keep going, to keep persisting, because this for me is kind of like the Mount Everest. I'd rather play Gaspard de la Nuit or Rachmaninoff Third Concerto than have the pressure of this etude, but you can get there, and it feels amazing once you do. Okay, so a couple of exercises that you can do to start out with is this little exercise from Cortot. By the way, these three, I would compare all three of these fingerings. This is my edition that I wore out when I was really young, Arthur Friedheim Chopin Etudes, Schirmer edition. Not the best in my opinion. Paderewski edition, I love this. You can see it's all stained from years of use, and I spilled a drink on it. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with this book. And then something I just got recently was this Cortot edition, and I love this because it goes through and it gives you so many different fingerings. Like for the opening, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it has two different ones on F, that just slight variations of fingerings that you can use. So I won't be going over every one of those, but you can get this Cortot edition of the Chopin etudes if you want to have a little bit more insight into all of his different fingerings. Okay, so the first exercise is this. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just doing a trill up here, or little triplets, and then every 3 notes I'm doing, and then do the opposite. Okay, I'm using 3-1-5-2. That's the fingering I'm currently working on to get good, just for a personal satisfaction. I don't need it because I can play my other fingerings fine. But that is a great exercise that you can do. You can do this exercise. And maybe go up to 5. You can do all sorts of holding exercises, like those exercises are great, but I find that the most therapeutic way to practice is just going very slow with my eyes closed and feeling that this is a unit. And then this is a unit. That's a unit. And feeling the lightness in the fingers. I have a student who's 16, and I gave her this about 5 weeks ago, and she's been learning a page a week, and she's a brilliant student. And she came back last week, and she could go, you know. And I was like, how are you doing that? And she's like, oh, I just practice it slowly. So that really frustrated me as her teacher, because I've been working on this for years and years, just on and off, kind of dabbling. So I actually sat down and I figured out a fingering that works for my hand. I have extremely large hands. Like I can span like F to C, so that's an 11th. And I don't know if it's the length of my fingers or what it is. I don't think that's an excuse. I think it's a mental block, to be honest. But for whatever reason, I like this fingering. I like 4-2, 5-1, 4-2, 5-1, 4-2, 5-1. And it feels very peculiar at first, but the reason I like it is it puts a physical motion into the hand of rocking back and forth. And then you have your trill. It's like magic. 3-2, 5-1 is also a great fingering. I found that I was kind of blurring that one. For whatever reason, 4-2, 5-1. And you would think, oh, how are you trilling with a 4-1, 4-5 on the top? That's awkward. But for whatever reason, every time I do 3-2, 3-1, 5-2, that started to happen. So this just felt really good. Okay, here we go. We're gonna dive into the fingering. 4-2, 5-1, all the way through the first line. When you get to this part, 4-2, 5-1, 4-2, 3. Thank you so much for watching. As with all ProPractice videos, the first section is free. If you'd like to view the rest of this video, you can click on the link in the description below. And I've also created a card link at the top of this screen that you can click on for the video. You'll also see, you can visit my website for all the lessons. You can subscribe to my channel, or you can view more videos over here. Thank you for joining me today. Good luck in your practice sessions.